Welcome, everybody, to Travel Your Heart, a podcast where two gay grandpas explore life's travels together. Hi, everybody. It's Grandpa Bobby.
Grandpa Scott.
And welcome to another episode of Travel Your Heart, a podcast brought to you by two gay grandpas.
And that would be us.
So happy Pride Month to everybody.
Absolutely. Happy Pride.
We're having a wonderful month, and we just got back from an amazing journey to Sitka, Alaska, and we had some terrific Pride activities while we were there.
Oh, yeah. It was wonderful. First of all, a big shout out to the city of Sitka, Alaska. You guys were so wonderful, so generous, and so gracious. And we want you to know we appreciate it very much.
It's a small town with a big heart. And if you ever get the opportunity to go there, don't pass it up.
Yeah, it's a major port on several cruises.
Yeah, you'll have a great opportunity to see beautiful sights, but also to meet some really wonderful people like we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't we share some of the stories about our activities during Pride Month?
Oh, yeah, we thought we'd like to do that. So I guess let's start off with what was a surprise to us. We had a meet and greet.
Yeah, our very first meet and greet, in-person meet and greet. You know, we have done things online here, but we've never had one in person. So it was kind of exciting for us.
And we want to thank Sarah and Cole of Misfit Island Cafe because they pretty much arranged all this for us.
Yeah, that was their idea. Oh, well, we'll just be a little quiet venue inside their cafe, which is a really charming little cafe with tables and chairs and sofas.
Ooh, great cookies.
And apple tarts.
Apple tarts. Ooh, I love the sandwiches too.
Okay, well, let's not get sidetracked.
We're talking
here.
food again, aren't we?
Yep, there we go. No food, no memory. But anyway, they went all out and they had a balloon arch. They had our video shown on a monitor inside their cafe.
From our YouTube channel.
That's right. They even had a photo booth where people could take photos with your gay grandpas.
And it was all set up in the photo booth around the Pride Month.
Yeah,
which was so cool.
So what they did is they put the word out and they said, you know, for anybody that wanted to meet us to come to their cafe during a certain amount of hours. And we had a great turnout.
It floored me.
Yeah,
it really did floor me.
And there were a few really memorable experiences.
Oh,
Why don't you share one?
Well, they were all wonderful. I think one that touched me very much to the heart was a young lady that came in with her mother.
I remember.
All right. And the young lady is a subscriber. And she came in and started talking to us and saying, I just love your videos. And they mean so much to me. And she started to have some tears in her eyes. And I just kind of was touched by that and overwhelmed by that. And we talked a little bit more with her than you proceeded to talk with her. Mm-hmm. And her mother took me aside and we sat down on the couch, which I love. There was a couch in the cafe. It's very comfortable.
More like a living room.
Oh, yeah. Very neat place to go into. And her mom and I sat on the couch and her mom said, you don't know what you two mean to her. She's lost her grandparents. She gets all that grandparent kind of love through you and your videos. And I did not know what to say. I was just...
That's very humbling.
Oh, my gosh. Humbling. Yes, very much so. I just remember that remarkable moment of that daughter and mother coming in.
Yeah, that was very touching.
And you?
Well, the thing you have to realize, first of all, about Sitka, as we mentioned, it's a very big cruise port. And so on any given day during the summer, they can have up to 9,000 guests coming into their town. And remember, Sitka is only a town of 8,500 permanent residents, so the town essentially doubles. So they close off the main street, and this was the street where the Misfit Cafe was located. And they close it off and people are just wandering around like it's a street fair. And so we were outside greeting people and some lovely people came in, didn't know anything about our channel. And I struck up a conversation and it was a young gay guy with his mom. Mm-hmm. turned out he was a gay parent, and his partner was at home with their child.
In Vancouver.
From Vancouver. And they were here on a cruise for the day. And we got to chatting, and it was really wonderful because we were relating to them as if they were like us, but only at a much younger age. I mean, I think
younger.
They were probably in their 30s, which to us is pretty young. But to share their experiences of what it's like to be a gay parent now versus when we were gay parents years ago, and to chat with his mom was really terrific. Needless to say, we got more subscribers out of it, and I hope to remain in contact with them.
Yeah, we sat down at a table and had coffee and had a nice conversation. It was so hard to get to talk to everybody because a lot of people were coming in, and we did want to spend time with all those who came into the meet and greet.
Yeah, it was terrific.
Yeah.
And, it really pointed out, oh my gosh, we've got subscribers all over the world. To go all the way to Sitka, Alaska, and to have subscribers and people who wanted to meet us. It really showed the power of the internet and how you can reach out to people.
Oh, yeah. Sarah and her team at Misfit Island Cafe, they were wonderful. They did all of that on their own.
Yeah, made us feel really at home.
Yeah, it was just amazing and so touching.
So what was another experience that we had?
Oh, on the at Sitka?
Yeah, during Pride Month.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, the other one was from the good folks at Mean Queen Restaurant and Bar. And that would be Patrick and Mary. And the Mean Queen is this really phenomenal restaurant bar.
Yeah, kind of a landmark.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's very much a landmark in Sitka. And we had an incredible pizza when we were there.
Yep.
And Patrick and Mary invited us to their drag show. And what they do is they have the drag queens and queens from Juneau.
From Kings. Queens and Kings.
What did I say?
You said queens and queens.
Queens, double queen, double your pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay, the drag queens
and kings.
Drag kings down from Juneau, and they put on this incredible drag show, and they invited us to it, and we went in that evening. It was, and these entertainers do like 2 shows.
Yeah, they did 2 sold-out shows.
Oh yeah,
Sitka really supports their drag community.
Absolutely, and. What was most stunning for me was the mistress of ceremonies, who was
Gigi Monroe, the incomparable.
Oh yeah, incomparable. Well, Gigi comes down off the stage while I'm filming because we had permission to film the show, and she walks right up to us and she says, "We have some very special guests, and here we are. We're getting this major shout out, which." We did not know about.
No, spotlight and everything.
And it was just a great little event there.
Yeah, and also a terrific show. So if you ever have a chance to see a drag show in Sitka, bring your dollar bills and be prepared to be entertained.
Oh, yeah, because those divas know how to work a room for the buck.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They work hard for their money.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
And if that wasn't enough, the next day, we were treated to drag brunch. Now, if any of you have never gone on a drag brunch, it's really hysterical. You get the best of both worlds. Great food and great entertainment.
Wasn't the food tremendous?
Oh, it was amazing. So this was all on an Allen Marine boat. And it was a
double-decker.
Double-decker. Yeah. And they took you out on a tour of the Sitka Bay and the inlets, and we got to see birds and animals. We even got to see some whales on that trip. Wonderful buffet and a drag show.
Yeah. Oh, backing up to the animals, we get to see otters.
Oh, that's right.
And what did we learn about otters?
Well, they have a naturalist who came along on board, and she told us that actually otters, as cute as they may be, are actually pretty nasty creatures.
Yeah, boy, those otters can throw shade.
So don't always go by looks. Good looks can be deceiving.
Very much so.
Oh, please. So I'm more bear than otter.
Yeah, that's true.
So we had a wonderful show. And amazing. Now think of it. These drag queens are performing in heels on a moving boat. So that takes a lot.
I know that I couldn't have done that.
Yeah, well, but you tried.
Now, are we going to go into that?
Yeah, we'll just touch upon it a little
Just
bit.
a little touch?
Okay, for way of explanation, for some of you have maybe watched our previous YouTube channel videos, I got to perform in a little drag number on the Scarlet Lady when we were on our Caribbean cruise.
Yes, but to be fair, folks, we have saved that for the Patreon.
Well, it was a
Yeah.
performance. But anyway, we thought, well, this time we have to share the wealth. So our team of friends there, and these were all people that were workers from the Misfit Island Cafe. They all came with us. And they volunteered Grandpa Scott to partake in an amateur dance-off contest. There were 5 people who volunteered, or their friends volunteered them.
Various ages.
Yeah, various ages. Yes, some very young people. And of course, the younger ones took it very seriously. And so they were 5 in a row. And of course, Grandpa Scott was last. And the young ones strutted and they performed. And then the 4th one was an elderly lady, a grandma, probably about
She was
her.
evil.
She was a wonderful little elderly lady. And she really performed her heart out. And so Grandpa Scott then, well, he came down and he gave it his all and he performed his heart out. And so what they decided to do was, by the level of applause, who made it to the semifinals.
That's dun dun dun.
So, of course, they applauded, and the young ones were very nice, very nice. Lovely job, nice job. But the winners were Grandma and Grandpa Scott.
Well, that crowd went loud and crazy.
Oh, yeah, it was a bit of variety.
Yeah.
So they had to have a dance-off. And so Grandma got to go first. And
Mind you, Grandma, while this is happening, she's smiling and having a good time, but she's throwing shade at me up there in front. So I had to turn around and throw a little shade back at her.
You got to push her
All in
overboard.
good fun, though. I loved her.
Anyway, she worked that cruise boat. Let me tell you, I had no idea that she could be so flexible.
Worked
at her.
every pole.
Every pole. She was
pole
like
danced on.
I think maybe she had a separate career at one time.
Yeah, I'm
in her life.
wondering.
'Cause she did awfully good.
Yes, she did. She stole my routine.
So by the time she was done, I was filming this, all mind you, and I was like, well, I know Grandpa Scott. He's highly competitive, but what is there left for him to do? She's done everything.
I was up there telling myself that.
The only thing left for him to do is to... Oh my God. Grandpa Scott is taking off his shirt. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
What was going through your
had
head?
one cocktail.
What was going through your head?
I was not going to lose to that shade throwing granny. I swear that she had read my beads up there while you all are laughing and applauding. Isn't she sweet? Okay, she was. I was going to do some clever pole dancing, but she worked every one of those poles down that ship. And so I'm wondering, what can I do? And you know me, I don't like to take my shirt off.
Hates to lose.
I had triple bypass surgery, and I had the scar, and I'm very subconscious. Subconscious?
Not subconscious, conscious.
I should have been
You should have been subconscious. You should have been unconscious.
I know. But I got up there, and what else am I going to do? So I did my best.
He did his best Gypsy Rose Lee impersonation.
Ba-dum,
Let me
bum.
tell you. And I don't think you can surprise a drag queen, but honey, these drag queens' jaws were on the floor.
Okay, I was going to attempt a death drop.
Yeah, it would have been the death of you.
But there I go, 2 hips instead of 1.
Yeah.
Well, I got down on the floor, and folks, I almost couldn't get up. I basically rolled over and finished my number crawling on the deck.
Not the most graceful, but
it wasn't graceful.
A
but
lot of effective.
It was very effective.
Everybody was effective. Let me say, they were roaring. And in the end, they voted again. And they came to a tie.
It was rigged.
They were nice. So both Grandpa Scott and Grandma won. And we spent the rest of that cruise taking pictures with people who couldn't believe it, drag queens who wanted to invite Grandpa Scott into their troupe, and made a lot of wonderful friends.
Oh, the drag kings. The drag queens were just wonderful. We got some great selfies with those wonderful entertainers.
Yep. So, of course, we felt it best to go into hiding the next day. So we decided the next day to just have a quiet day to relax from all of that. And we spent it on Mertz Island. Now, just to explain to you, our host, Sarah and Cole, own their own island, which is just an amazing thing. And they have 2 houses on it, a guest house and a main house. And since they were renovating their guest house, they invited us to stay in their main house on this island.
Well, let's back up a little bit. They own a company called Bumble Expeditions.
That's right.
And as part of that, the house in the cove is actually part of the expedition area. Yeah.
And we had the whole island to ourselves to explore. Why don't you tell us about it?
The island is just beautiful. It was a very misty, cool day, and the ocean was very active. And so there was a lot of waves breaking all around on the volcanic, on the rock. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But the island is like something out of Jurassic Park. It's very rainforesty.
Primeval almost.
Absolutely. You got these thick mosses all over the place, and Cole and Sarah have cut trails that you can hike on, and some of the trails they actually have ropes that you climb. Use the ropes to.
And I wish I
is
had.
Is it called rappelling?
Yeah,
you
it was rappelling when you were doing it.
Yeah, I know it was falling when I did.
Grandpa rappelling on his butt.
Yeah, I slid down.
It wasn't graceful, but you got there.
I was filming. But we spent time there with our
new friend,
Indy,
their dog, she's just a lovely dog, and took to us like another grandkid.
I miss Indy a lot.
She was so sweet, and we explored. We hiked from. One of the nice things was one side of the island faced the bay, and it was rough seas, and then the other side faced a very quiet cove where it was calm. So it was beautiful to see both.
Yeah, it was. And we bundled up because it was a little cool.
Well, cool for us desert folk. Remember, so we were coming from 100-degree temperatures, and they were in the 50s, maybe to the 60s.
Yeah, I saw people in Sitka in T-shirts.
I know.
Okay, T-shirts.
They're hardy folk in Alaska.
They're used to it. I wasn't.
Yeah, no. So we bought layers.
Yeah. Parkas, gloves.
We were
thermal
prepared.
Underwear.
That was a Boy Scout.
But the island, having it and exploring it all to yourselves, including Indy, who was our guide, it was just an adventure because it was like it was so foreign to me because it was so rainforesty, tropical, kind of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about travel is you get to lead a different life for a little period of time. You get to see something that is really outside your everyday environment. And to me, that's so enriching. And not only just, seeing new things, but meeting new wonderful people, tasting new food, always about the food.
No meal, no memory.
But I think that's why we always encourage everybody to try traveling. Even if you travel just locally, there's always something new to see and experience.
Yeah. I had never been to Sitka.
No.
Okay. And
always heard about it.
I had heard about it before. And it was it's very picturesque. There's ample opportunity to see wildlife both, in the water and on land.
You see bald eagles like everywhere. Like we were hoping to maybe see one bald eagle. We saw tons of bald eagles and whales and otters and bear.
Oh my.
Oh my. It was just amazing.
Now, for those of you that follow us on YouTube, we just released today the first of our 5 Sitka adventure videos, and the first one was about the sky adventure.
Don't give everything away.
Yes, where we went up though in a
float plane
for the first time.
We had some great adventures in Sitka. If you ever have a chance, we really recommend it. It's beautiful. The people are friendly, and you'll have a great time. Absolutely.
Whether you fly in or whether you do a cruise.
And stop in at our friends at Misfit Island Cafe and say hi. And if you want to go on adventure, do try Bumble Expeditions. Sarah and Cole are just outstanding.
And again, we're not paid for this.
No.
We're not paid for this, guys, because we like to be able to just speak freely. And what I really liked was the fact that they use a small boat. So we went with like 60 people. It was just us.
Yeah, very personal.
The boat
Holds
max is 6,
Yep.
but that includes the 2 captains, all right? But when you go out, boy, they took us to some places where we saw whales. What you see, that YouTube video. But would recommend them if you want that kind of intimate experience. If you're on a cruise, don't worry. They'll get you back in time to get on your boat. And like they said, if they should and ever make anyone miss it, they would take you.
They'll probably take their boat and
Take your boat and take you to your next
stop.
stop. Whether, most of the time it's Juneau, I believe, right? So it was just overall, I hope you can tell it from our faces, it was a most enjoyable experience for us.
So what'd you think of this video, Grandpa?
You know, I like this one because it kind of allowed us to, you and I, to just kind of summarize and wrap up our trip to Sitka, and we've only been back about a week.
A little over a week,
A little over a
but
week.
you know, sometimes when you get to vocalize it and reminisce, you get to relive those moments of not only what we saw, but the people we met.
You will have memories.
Oh yeah,
Wonderful memories from Sitka if you go. And I will assume that that's that way with all of Alaska, but we went to Sitka and it was great.
Yep, great experience.
Yeah.
So what do you think about for our next episode? What should we be talking about?
Well, our next episode, we're going to have Do Ask, Do Tell, Part 2.
Oh, part 2.
And yeah, because honestly, right after this, in a very short week, a little over a week, we head out.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, we will be heading out to the UK for a 6-week drive road trip. And we're going to be driving England, Wales, Ireland, Scotland.
And Grandpa Scott will be driving on the other side of the road. So I will be making sure to film that because that will be an adventure in and of itself. I'll probably have to put it on mute because Grandpa will probably be saying a lot of things that we don't want to have on the air.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos on how to drive it. It's my first time on the left, left side driving. So, and it's our intention to do some podcasts while we're over there.
Fingers crossed that we can get the internet and all of our equipment to work.
So that's coming up.
Oh, that should be exciting.
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining. We would really appreciate it if you subscribe to our podcast. And also, please remember to go to Two Gay Grandpas Travel on YouTube, subscribe, give us a like, and let us know your comments. We really appreciate hearing from everybody.
Absolutely. That way we know if you're enjoying these or if you're not.
Or ideas of what we want us to cover in our podcast or in our travels.
Yeah, we'd love to have ideas. Yep.
So thank you all. And always remember, whenever you travel your heart. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.